What's going on?
Steel yourself, friends. It's time for Lichdom Battlemage. Chances are you've never heard of Lichdom Battlemage, but it's been floating around on the PC since 2014. This week, however, the game arrives on consoles, and the results are, well, interesting. Let me ask you a question first. What do you get when you combine the load times from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 with the performance of an unoptimized Nintendo 64 shooter? Why, just the single worst performing console game we've tested this entire generation, of course. You've seen the likes of Broforce, The Last Tinker, and Assassin's Creed Unity, but nothing could prepare you for Lichdom Battlemage. So let's jump right into it then, shall we? You're looking at gameplay from the PlayStation 4 version of the game right now, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. The frame rate really is that low, and it never gets better. This is a game that almost never crosses the 20 FPS line, and in fact spends much of its time well below it. Simply moving the camera around becomes a chore, and the game feels tremendously laggy to play. It really doesn't matter what's happening on screen either, the frame rate is just unbelievably low at all times, something we find unacceptable for a game being sold right now for £38. So what engine is powering the game, you ask? It's CryEngine 3. Look, CryEngine doesn't exactly have the best history on consoles yet, but there have been a few gems. Rise is an incredible looking launch title, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is pretty solid on PS4, and even Evolve isn't half bad looking. But then we have stuff like Sonic Boom on the Wii U, which was just a complete mess from top to bottom, and now we have Lichdom Battlemage. For as terrible as the frame rate is though, there's another problem here that we just can't ignore. Loading times. We've mercifully sped this section up, but as you can see, Battlemage takes quite some time to load. Yes, this is a game that can park you at a loading screen for more than 2 minutes before cutting to a real-time scene in which the textures still aren't fully streamed in yet. Clearly, there is work to be done here. But hey, at least when you die, the game doesn't need to reload the entire level. That's one thing, right? But that's just the PlayStation 4 version. Battlemage is also available on Xbox One. Warning, the following footage contains severe tearing and may result in a sliced retina. Take all of the problems we've encountered on PS4, make the image extra dark, and then completely and totally eliminate vertical sync. With that, you have a recipe for the Xbox One version. Yes, the frame rate is just as slow as it is on PS4, but screen tearing is now present 100% of the time. There is never a moment when the screen isn't splitting in half. While it is difficult to play the PS4 version at such a low frame rate, the Xbox One version is an assault on the senses that I had to stop playing after just 20 minutes. It's really that bad. What's interesting here is that both versions of the game actually run at a full 1080p, making this the first CryEngine 3 game on Xbox One to operate at such a resolution. At least there's that, right? And when you place the two side by side, it becomes clear that there's something going on with the brightness here. Both consoles are using the default settings here, but on the Xbox, well, the game is rather dim, don't you think? Another oddity for sure. So you've seen how Battlemage runs on consoles, and it's not pretty, but what does the game look like when it's running properly? Well, how about this? Yes, the 2014 PC release runs like a dream on our setup. A full 1080p 60 is easily within reach, and the game manages to feel incredibly responsive to boot. Insultingly, the tutorial videos present in the console version of the game is really just the PC version running smoothly. Talk about rubbing salt in the wound. Seriously though, once I actually sampled the game on PC, it became clear that there is a genuinely fun game lurking beneath the surface. It seems pretty straightforward, but it's a rather atypical experience as well, and one that I could actually see myself playing through, which is why this situation is so disappointing. This is a game that few have actually heard of, but it's also one that's rather fun, and it could have actually found a small following on consoles. But the performance and loading issues, they're just too severe to overlook. The game itself becomes nearly impossible to enjoy when the performance is so consistently poor. We don't know where things went wrong, and we do have sympathy for the developers here, but the fact is this is a game that should have never been released in this state. It's unfair to customers. So that's really about it then. If you want to play this game, go ahead and buy it for the PC for less and have a blast. But stay away from the console versions. Far away. Anyway, that's all the time we have now, and I apologize if you now have a headache from the low frame rates. If you don't though, and you did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, this is John, signing off.
Achieved with CryEngine 3.
Wait, what? Did I hear that right?
Achieved.
You're gonna have to repeat that.
Achieved with CryEngine 3.
It's unpleasant, I know.